Hangin Wit Mr.
Here we
Biggs.
go again. So, you know, let me see what we're gonna do now. Oh, you know what? I definitely got to shoot you over that game post so that you get that edited. It's like an hour long. I mean, straight killing
Oh, so I
things,
gotta
bro.
sit here
Like
for. I have to sit here for an hour. And you, what? Can you give me like some prep? Like,
it's an
what am
hour
I
and 10 minutes and 38 seconds. I mean, straight banging. I
banging?
think
What
like the
game?
first. I think like the first, like probably like the first 5 minutes, you could cut out because for some reason my ass had the loading screen up. So it's like
I
5 minutes waiting for it to
I
load
mean,
up. But then
I
I get
wouldn't.
into it and
I
start
wouldn't mind
banging.
if you just wrote me some notes. I don't know what game you're talking about. Like, am I familiar? I want to know if
Oh,
I'm
on
familiar
Call
with the
of Duty,
game.
Call
Oh,
of Duty Black
COD.
Ops 4. But I'll write you some notes.
So you never stopped playing games?
Hmm.
Yeah,
There
like
was one period
what was
where
that?
I completely
Dreamcast.
I,
What was the era? Like what did you when did you stop?
that was like between PlayStation 2 and 3.
And what happened?
I was just really caught up in school and trying to get stuff done because I felt like I was delayed in life from being what I wanted to be. I guess back then is when I went through my own midlife crisis, if you want to call it that. But now I just realize it's a way out because being out here, well, where I live at, I don't really rock with people like that. I told you, like,
So what you saying is you had so this midlife crisis was basically mid early adult life crisis. You was feeling something. You was feeling like you was right about digging in and letting go of things because somebody must have told you you had to grow up. Who was it? Webster, Gary Coleman. Who was it? Who told you? Let us in. Who told you that it was time to grow up?
Alf. No.
Alf. That's funny. There's actually an Alf channel on when you have that like I don't even know if that's it's not Sling, it's Pluto. I think if you get it on Pluto or Samsung TV,
Oh, Pluto
there's a
TV?
there's an Alf channel. There's a whole channel dedicated to Alf. I got caught up one
For
day.
real?
Yeah, I got caught up.
Oh,
But
that's
for
rad.
real, somebody I mean, I like diving back into this because it tells a lot about like leadership, guidance, whether that was good advice, bad advice. Like, can you think about who possibly put you on and told you like, yeah, you're gonna have to straighten up? Was it a professor? Like, why'd you think that not playing games was going to contribute positively to you?
Oh, that it wasn't really nobody. It was my own thought. Because if I
It
could sit
wasn't
here and
your
spend
own
about
thought, bro. It
an hour,
couldn't. You weren't influenced. You don't think you were
no,
influenced,
no,
and your own
absolutely
thoughts
not.
being, you are telling yourself that if you're basically doing the trade off, if I stop this, then I'm going to be better on the other side. Is it that simple?
So it's not that simple, but it's more like, all right, you spend time doing this, but you can stop doing this and spend more time doing that, which is going to propel you ahead, or at least put you closer to the spot that you want to be in, other than just saying, "Yo, let me go play this game."
Yeah. I mean,
So
how much
just
was you
putting
playing?
was hours, bro, hours. Like sometimes I was not even. I'll put sleep aside to beat this level or get this car, or obtain this player. You know,
Yeah. I
because
mean,
anytime I'm doing something, and this is just me, I like to put a goal to obtain. So this way, you're reaching for something. I don't like to do things where I'm not reaching for something. It makes no sense.
I get you. You goal oriented. That's cool. I don't know. I feel like it's hard for me to believe that just like the reason why you probably went to college. It's hard for me to believe that we weren't influenced to be like to fit something, to fit some idea or ideal. You know, like I wholeheartedly, like, how do we all end up in college, bro? Like, you go down the list. How do we all end up in college? Where was the plumbing school? Where was the electrician school? The janitorial services, the unions, civil, any kind of civil services. How do we all end up in college? You never think about that?
I thought about it, but then the idea, or should I say, what I come up with, is totally sometimes skewed because it's like, did you really think that, or was that given to you
You were
somewhere else?
influenced. We were influenced. Yo, you grow up in a place where it fits the mode of like somebody makes some this is the hood DVD, and you may not have all of the characteristics of what they're trying to say, but you kind of fit that bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, every hood is different. There's different things going on. Like, when you walk down, if I go from my house to your house, what are you seeing on the power lines?
Sneakers all day, all day, all day.
All day sneakers the whole way. Probably sneakers that's selling right now, right? On
Word.
the on the power line. So like every hood is into what they into, right?
Yeah.
So I can't even be a third party here. I can't see it from the outside to know how bad the neighborhood was. What I can tell you is it's very clear from a moral standpoint on what I was fed, what I was influenced with, what doing good was, and what doing not good was. I'm not even gonna say bad. I'm just say not good. And
Hmm.
for some reason, if it wasn't college, it did not end up on the good side.
Okay, I can see that.
So
I can see that.
whoever's the leadership, whoever's giving out that information, and I can't imagine it's any better today. As far as, I mean, I think younger people they're navigating the world and finding their way without listening as much and being influenced to leadership, because they break down a lot of barriers. But I'm pretty sure it just doesn't make sense that there's so many people I know that just took that route. And then you look in retrospect, what you do now is usually, a lot of us, is not going to be connected to what you did in college or what you said you wanted to do, what you majored in, what you minored in. And the reason why is because you weren't supposed to be there in the first place, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Like, you didn't understand. There's a more holistic view of what you're engaging in. And yeah, when you stop playing games, that's the right spirit to use to say, you know, I gotta, basically trying to get a return on your investment, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're investing, and I learned that the hard way. Because I did leave school at one point, and after 6 months, I got that bill. You know what I'm saying? And that bill make you want to go back to school, and I did that too. So, but you learn the hard way, and but it, to me, I always looked at it like it was hard to take serious then. It was just like obviously we're all here, but I used to ask people questions like, why why is this the way? Why'd you go to college? And I never get a good answer, like why people are there. Most people that were with me there, I didn't even understand. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't. I could see them doing something else and being very successful. I took more of the social route with college, where it was just like 13th grade, where it was just like you're still able to feel like you walking down the hallway, because we went to like big high schools. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
not everybody knows what it's like to be around 3,000, 4,500 people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
That's
overwhelming.
true.
My
That
yo,
is true, and that's a lot of people.
and you cool with all. I know how you rolled back then. How many handshakes you was giving out a day, bro?
Man, you know what? I
Hundreds
can't
is
call it because
easy.
you
Hundreds
yeah
is
yeah
easy. That's like
that was easy. That you know what? That was Saturday school by itself.
Saturdays, 2 hours of Saturday school. Yeah, so I'm saying we've been around a lot of people, so it makes it even worse because then I know a lot of people who got caught up with the system. You know, as far as having to pay for something without getting a return on that investment. A bigger, what up?
I can't even hold you because now I think about Saturday school and being influenced. I'm like, damn, Darnell, right? Because that Nike commercial came out, and I saw I could do the move. Remember, I
Oh
used to
man.
come in.
Yeah. Nah, we was. I mean, that's just a normal thing for people to be influenced. But that Nike commercial didn't influence the rest of your life. Whereas,
I don't
I
know.
I think down to like. So I actually did think of something earlier. What was the worst job you ever had?
Oh man, I would say killing cows.
I don't know all the jobs you've ever had, but when you told me you was killing cows, that rang very. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
Tell me about that, bro. Tell me what you can tell me. You don't gotta tell me who you work for and all of that. Why was it the worst job or experience for you?
because first, all like I
You
said,
was the trigger
like I
man,
sound like I said,
right?
I work for,
You
but
was
it
the
was
trigger
out
man, right?
of yeah. That's that's the one. Like you come to me and then I gotta unalive you. So it's like, oh,
Yeah, you know it's
you
crazy
think because
when you go through trauma, you start making up words. Like you start
yeah,
changing words. Cause when I gotta harvest my chickens, I don't call it killing them. I harvest my
exactly.
chickens. He said unalive
It's
them.
it, it's the human nature to try to make yourself feel comfortable with
Yeah,
what you're doing.
exactly.
But in reality, you're really uncomfortable. And I'm not gonna lie. In my mind, I was like, oh, you know, it ain't nothing. This is an animal. But I'm not gonna lie. There've been nights where a brother woke up like had a cow or two on his
Jesus.
mind. Like, oh, yo, I could have sworn the cows were chasing me, like on some real shit. Like I tell motherfucker right now, I am not a killer. Right now, that is not
Hold
me.
on,
I'm
bro.
just saying,
Yeah,
you
I ain't a
know.
killer, but don't. Yo, you
And
got
it's like
cows. You got cows. Hold up. How many cows, bro?
I used to kill anywhere between
No, 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 no,
60
no,
to
no.
120 cows a
I
day.
no. I'm not talking about. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm not talking about your experience. I'm talking about your dreams, bro. I'm talking about the
Oh,
nightmares.
bro, bro, they was by the herds, bro. Like they
Oh
was deep,
man,
bro. They had a
Jesus.
posse. It's like,
Nah.
bro. Sometimes
I
I
ain't,
used to have to sit on the edge of my bed. That's how I knew it was real.
you waking up with the sweats from killing cows,
But
bro.
so what, bro? Real talk.
Have you ever worked with cows outside of this to have like a little bit more respect for what it, what it is and what the process is?
So I didn't directly work with cows outsiders. Like I didn't have a job to where I work with cows outsiders. Up here where I'm at, they have a fair, and in this fair because it's so are you still with me?
I'm still here. I clipped my video just because the bandwidth was a little choppy for a second. You hear me?
That's probably my fault. Yeah, I can't hear you. Hold on. Okay, there we go. It should get better right now.
Okay. What happened?
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. You were saying
No,
the fear.
I kicked my Wi-Fi out by accident, but um, what happened was at the fair they would give they like it's a hands-on fair. People who own farms bring cows in, sheep, all different kinds of stuff. And you were right over there, bro.
I'm
So so
I'm good, bro. I was just some shit just hit the spot. What up? What up? What up?
so
What up?
oh liquid coverage in the building. Cut
Yeah,
it out.
yeah. What's good? What's good, man? So yeah, we
So
got a fear
I
too.
would
We
get
got
a,
a fear too. I know what a fear is like.
so I would get a chance to go in and milk a cow, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But milk the cow and get to really watch it eat. Like, I don't know what I thought about animals at first, but a lot of big, like burly animals, I thought they was for sure meat eaters, and they just straight plant eaters. Like, I'm
Hold
something
up,
in my mind got me
you
messed up,
thought you thought a cow was eating meat, bro?
bro, for sure.
See, this is what I'm saying. That's just dumb as when I came out here, I thought strawberries grew on a tree. They don't.
I'm glad you
They-
told me because, bro, you see my face, right? The niggas
yeah, I
got stuck
see your
like,
face.
where they go? Where do they go there?
But this is the to me this is the full circle of the conversation because I start to really wonder about education and what we were taught, or we were influenced by. What is important? Is it more important to know that a strawberry doesn't grow on a tree, like, or a cow isn't a meat? Like these things, like they're pretty important because when especially in this disinformation era, right? In order to absorb and to make proper decisions, we just got out of that whole pandemic or whatever. But in order to make decisions, you got to be able to understand the level of how they're communicating to you. And if you're beneath that, and I feel like that's kind of what I'm expressing, is that a lot of our education didn't hit those areas of things that I guess if you live a city life for the rest of your life, you may never need to know where a strawberry grows. Or you'll never need to know a cow's diet. Like cows supposed to eat grass. Most of the cows is fed on grain.
Yep.
Right? Like you wouldn't even have that interaction. So then you don't even know what in the end, you don't know what you're eating. You don't know how far that goes. And now I'm now 40, researching things that should have happened when I was 8. And so it's like all of these influences, and somehow those things that really, to me, really matter. And I'm just gonna say, I do think there has to be some ranking of priorities, because I could tell you so much about back then. It would be like, oh, I could tell you about sports. I was collecting basketball cards. I can give you every stat on every card. I have till this day, I have a Flair 93, 94 full set. Back then, I can give you every stat on every card. So why was that so important to me? Today, I don't even watch basketball, but I damn sure do eat.
Yeah. Back then, like you said, bringing the conversation back to the original question, what was your influences back then? You know what I'm saying? Back then, you growing up with you played ball. Like everybody know I was no ball player. I probably get in the staff versus campers league or something, or staff versus staffs, score 1 or 2 shots and think I'm like Larry Bird. But at the same time, like you was really about that ball life. Like to me, anybody would ask me about you, who that ain't probably in the NBA right now. Like, I
There's
remember when you
levels,
had the
bro.
all white warm up suits.
Nah, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I was local, bro. There's a lot of learning when you go to the next level, which I had the privilege of at least playing D3 ball. We don't know how high school worked out for me, so those opportunities, they shrink real fast. And it's not uncommon even outside of basketball, working at youth centers, you start to realize that critical age of young men, it's more specific, young black boys, 16 to 25. That's like a real crucial group, and there are times where they age out, and the things that they had opportunities to do are no longer there for them. So we'll follow the people who are able to save them, and the benefits. And I mean, you've been to the club, you seen the guys at the Boys and Girls Club turn 19, 20, and then they just hanging outside.
Yeah.
So it's levels to it. And for me, there's mistakes that I made academically early on, which I can't say they wouldn't have, like, I can't say I would do it differently because it was a lot of learning and it was just my path. I'm not sure I regret how everything went down. But for somebody who loved the sport, who loved just being athletic, back then the most crucial lesson that I didn't understand was how married the two were, especially if you're not like the top player, right? You gotta, because you gotta come with as much as you could come with. It's three parts to it, bro. And I really got this from my first coach in Rockland, and it's always carried with me. And if somebody is against this rule that I'm about to say, we really don't have much else to talk about. You don't understand. So the last thing you need to worry about is the sport and playing. The first two things are your community and your academics. Community being, are you a good person? Do you take care of what's in your house? Do you take care of what's outside your house? Are you a leader? And then are you taking care of what you need to in the classroom? Because you could be on one of those teams where, guys are failing off the team. That's high school stuff, bro. When you get in college, and that's why I only wanted to coach college. When you get in college, it's multi-tiered on why you're here. You're connected, whether you signed a scholarship or you're paying out of your pocket somehow. So it's about responsibility. It's about standing up to what you said you was going to stand up to and keep moving forward. And there's times where I didn't handle that all the way well, but I enjoyed playing sports. I enjoyed playing ball, but I was always local. We didn't stray too far from the hood except for like on some bike riding or whatever. But I don't know if it was that safe to just be like, I'm going to just be everywhere. I don't know if that's the world we grew up in. And I felt very safe where we from. As far as just like, I'm going to just go out to Brooklyn. I'm going to just ball out. Like, nah, I ain't feel that safe. Yeah. So I might have missed like an era where the AAU teams was very prevalent and coaches is taking you everywhere across the state, across the country. But hey, I mean, I made the best of it. I got an opportunity. I made the best of it, and that's all you can do. I met some people along the way from the Boys and Girls Club that really caught me at the right time and got me back in line and on a program, and then I took it from there. But the way that I look at things is like, as much as I believe that you're successful, just speaking about you could very well not be successful. The line between that is, in my book, they're not far from each other. Like, we all speed at some point. We all get lucky and we all get unlucky. Growing up where we grew up at and how we navigated, like the guy who didn't make that choice, I think college was like definitely a safe choice. But the person who didn't make that, I don't know if we should have been frowning upon them or looking at them in a certain way. And I obviously didn't start that, but I feel like I was influenced because if I didn't do college, my family would have been looking at me like, he wasted himself.
Yeah.
What else you got, man?
When you put it in that perspective, I just feel like a lot of the people we was around too, like the programs we was in, and they push that. That's the agenda. Let's get you off to college. Let's take college trips.
But
let's go
why?
to some purchase.
Why you think? You ain't really break down this organization that you was a part of. I don't think we've had this conversation.
For life?
For life. But look at this. Yeah. Remember we used to get paid to take surveys?
Yep.
What do you think happened with that? Why do you think that was?
A little stipend check.
No, well, that's what you got. You never considered Why you were doing that?
Pretty sure it was to get some data.
Data to
Come on,
sell.
listen to me.
Data to sell. Do you think it's possible?
I know it's possible.
Okay. Okay.
The stuff,
So
the
now look
stuff.
back at why the program for life, the program had to influence you in a certain way
Of course,
because the data had to show a certain thing,
absolutely.
right? It's crazy, bro. But I got lucky because I wasn't in it, even though everybody wanted to be in it when it first came out. Like, I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if
Oh, why they get to do it? They special.
not. They had me pick
Was man
They had
special?
me pick a number. I picked the one, and that day one wasn't it, bro. It was
Nope. You was
two.
on the other. You was on the other time.
Yeah. So I was just the people that I was just. I guess that's the control. Like, I mean, not the control. Like, I'm just being the outside group because I'm not being influenced the same way. You know.
And they wanted to see their numbers. Who, if these guys are quickly tutored and have somebody there to support
Mm-hmm.
them, then they are more likely
Yep.
to go to college than the other group. Listen,
Exactly. Exactly.
listen. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a, I'm gonna let y'all in on the little secret. I knew back then what they was doing. This is. I always tell people. I play chess. I don't. I'm ahead of my time with
Ah,
this one. I'm gonna
stop
tell
with
you.
this chess.
Let
Stop
me
with
tell you
this.
something.
There's other
Here we go.
games out there, bro.
You have to understand. Although I'm in something, I'm always analyzing it, and because I feel like I'm the only one who think the way I think, I don't verbalize it. But I've been knowing what they was compiling together. Just like you remember Keystone?
Keeping every youth strong through one nation everywhere.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. I mean, I have a memory. I believe that I can't say I've ever taken school serious, but I remember more than what people who took school serious. I
Hmm.
remember stuff like as if it happened last week, and I'm studying for a test. So I'm more in tune with like the information really being learned and going through that experience, so that it's a one time thing and you have it forever. You may stray from it, but you could always like unlock it and get back to it. Yeah, I remember Keystone. I joined later than you guys. That was just a social thing. No, that was, I mean, it was a leadership group, and I don't. You want to tell me what was from your point of view? What did Keystone? Where does this lie as far as influence and it being wrong? I'm guessing you're saying.
No, it's not wrong. It's just, do you know how Keystone came about? Do you know how it was funded? Do you know what sparked Keystone to happen?
Well, Keystone's bigger than the Keystone group that we had. That the Keystone is a bigger like I don't know what you call it, but remember there was like a whole conference. So like Keystone was not
Yeah.
just at our club. I don't know what sparked Keystone at our Boys and Girls Club. I wasn't in it. I didn't even hang out with the people who, I mean, I was mainly in the gym. So I was mainly the faux life
Yeah.
people and a couple others that were a little older. But I think it was more of just a social hangout, really, for the older teenagers. Um, Something else to do. The club always struggled with attendance. With those, even when I worked there after college, the older kids are the hard. The older kids not going to the gym is the hardest group to have real programming for. Again, going back to the 16 to 25 group, that's just a problem.
Yeah.
It's a well documented problem. That's where we lose kids. That's what we lose young adults, mainly men, and that's a part of that. That's the feeder into the prison industrial complex. And we don't have enough programs for them. We don't have enough people for them. So that's, in a nutshell, that's just how it goes. I don't think our experience was unique. I think you'll find somebody across, a similar neighborhood that's going through the same exact thing that we did. I appreciate when I got in Keystone. I appreciated it, because for me, especially that things weren't going right for me academically, the Boys and Girls Club was like a fresh start. Because when you start going the wrong way academically, you have to repair something, right? So when you come in, it's like, oh, here he goes again, and they're looking at your behaviors, and it's like I didn't behave poorly, I just had an attendance problem, which, going deeper, I don't know if you remember, but he had a very similar experience. Went to Kennedy, fell off the radar, got his GED as well. And when I look back on it, I see more of mental health and depression than I see a kid who don't want to go to school. Because look, I never got in trouble outside of school. No. I ain't never got arrested. It wasn't in no fights.
No.
We was trying to find them things. But outside of them things, I was doing a lot. I was really, my mind was very motivated, and all accepting just not being disciplined enough to deal with what they expect you to deal with in school. Is like I had a way out, bro, and I just used it. And I would just wake up feeling in pain. I was just in pain because this one thing. I'm not a bad person. I can't fix what I already messed up. There's nothing. What can you really do? My school's too big. You got. Not that I had issues with any particular individuals, but it just wasn't a positive experience. And eventually, that would ride its course, and I would make my choice. But at 3:00, I felt like every day, I can go to the Boys and Girls Club and be at peace and not be reminded of what I'm not doing or who I wronged. And that's who I really am. You know what I'm saying? I grew an attendance habit, poor attendance habit, and it just grew. And then I had to deal with the repercussions of it. And I did head on. It is what it is, man. But you got anything else, man? I don't want to bore the people out here. We getting all...
Nah. See, but that's the thing. You're not boring the people because you might have somebody going through
the people's
the same thing you're going through. Listen, let me tell you something. You never know what the hell people going through in life. All I gotta say is this: I done seen things in this life that people suffer in silence. They don't speak about it. They suffer in silence. I don't watch my kid to be exact, give somebody a hug, just a regular hug, and a person break down, talk about they really needed it. Because the days that they have, the weeks that they've been going through, somebody's dying, they got cancer. Like, you don't understand how much, just a little bit. We ain't asking for you to tell a life.
I don't discount that. I don't discount that. That's not what I'm saying. But I also don't see therapy as entertainment. Those are two different things, right? So my brother, my second oldest brother, Foundation, he has this, I don't know if he coined the term, but we used to ride the trains. There's a couple of memorable like train rides with him. And usually it'd be like on the way to Brooklyn or back. So it'd be like some long train rides. Like hit the A. We coming back. We going A to the D. And be a long train ride. You know what I'm saying? And there'll always be somebody on the train. I'm sure you've had this experience. And they'll just start talking to you. And they need it. And he'll call that, and he'll just look at me and call it, free therapy. So like, He's like, basically, he ain't on the clock, but literally, he count. We, you know, we not counseling people, but just the fact that we're there. I get you, bro. But therapy and entertainment are different. So when I said border people, I'm talking about from an entertainment side because I do believe you got to make a choice. Sometimes we can have a therapy session. That's fine, and I would go deeper into that because I have children as well, and I have strong beliefs about things that I've learned. And looking back, I have no choice but to look back and say, like, was that right? Was that wrong? And most things, I'm just like, damn, everything is on trial, bro. Your whole childhood is on trial when you have
Yeah.
children.
Remember what I said in the very first cast we did. I said the thing with my people is we're not having the conversation. For some reason, we hit the mute button on each other. We're not having a conversation. It needs to be having. So this way you can. That's not even good English. You need to have a conversation
Well, who's this
for
we?
mental health.
Well, so you have to. So I don't know, man. I'm somebody who's locked in with my well being. I think it takes a certain type of person. I don't think everybody is seeking something. I think you gotta seek something or have come across a certain experience that humbles you enough to be vulnerable. Because what you're talking, I really think you have to be vulnerable. That's what I'm looking for. In a person like me, and it sounds like you're always vulnerable because you have a empathy towards oneself and towards others.
What I have is a perspective of mental health, and I know from what I do in my life right now that people suffer in silence. And what I get from people that I talk to is nobody talks. And it goes back to that saying,
No,
closed
no,
mouth don't
I
get fed. Or
no, no, no. I
how
Biggs, I get that. I get that. When I'm going, I'm talking symptoms. I'm not talking about the result. The result is that I'm quiet. You don't know why I'm quiet though,
yeah,
right? So I was speaking
nobody
to
knows
like
that.
no, well, but that's the thing. What I'm speaking to is the symptoms. You have different types of people. Not everybody was where am I going as right now? Darnell just talking because most people think that I don't shut the fuck up. So
Well, you know why? Because because those are closed minded people. What about the one person? What about the one person that you probably said something that you actually helped in this life, and that person don't speak? They ain't tell nobody out loud, but behind closed door, they be like, "Damn, that brother Darnell just talked. He said something that really sparked my interest, that made me think twice about a decision." I'm not saying you made them a millionaire, but you got somebody to think twice about something. We don't know what these conversations are gonna do. We don't know where they're gonna go. You know, this I feel in my heart or all hearts. This is something that we was supposed to be doing. To be honest with you, we was doing this back before there was a real live internet, before there was a YouTube. A lot of people don't even understand that. Remember, you had the flip camera. You know what I'm saying? I had the freaking JVC that I brought from Circuit City. Like I could tell you,
high 8 or 8 millimeter.
8 millimeter.
Yeah, but I be frying you on that because it's almost like it doesn't matter until it does because we're dealing with. I'm a realist. Like in the end, if you don't entertain people, we're on an entertainment based platform. You could consider this therapy, but that's I'm not sure that that's where I put myself at. Like if you are influenced by what I'm saying, if you find some healing in what I'm saying, like that's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm all game for that. I'm here to share. I'm here to share my perspective, but not in like a red pill kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just opinions. But I think that you're not. I think that you're putting people on one like even slate where there's so many different personalities at play when it comes to people. So some people have to go through their own journeys to even be vulnerable enough to be helped. You get that?
I get that. And I
because
understand that.
a lot of times a lot of people, like, pain could be anywhere. Pain is usually in the people that you don't expect it,
Yep,
right?
this is true.
But they're not. But a lot of times that's because they're not vulnerable enough to cast that energy that they need help. They're helpless. So yeah, I'm not limiting where our words can go. I'm leaning towards the side of entertainment because it gets very personal when you connect on that level. And I'm not sure. I've always not been sure about the internet. Like even back in the day, bro. Even MySpace. I was not sure about MySpace. So I'm definitely not sure about where we are. You see, I'm not on social platforms. I don't. That's not. No, I don't do all of that. That's not. I don't do all
That's
of
the
that.
forte.
I'm not sure how any of that could help mental health, and mental health is kind of the biggest crisis that we have on our hands. I don't know other countries, but here in America for sure, mental health is the biggest crisis that we have. But we're all on
I
social
agree.
media, and social media I don't think can help your mental health. So we're all not helping ourselves. Is what you're saying.
I say it like this. It depends on the mindset that you come from. It depends on the mindset that your journey that you're taking. Because there are people out here on these platforms who's trying to talk positive and enlighten people in every aspect. But depending on what you, as a person who's going through it, what you take from it, that's on you. Not everybody
Well,
sees things the same way.
I'm not saying that I don't get things from social media, whether it's just looking at shorts or whatever. I'm not saying I don't get things. It's just like how on the computer, if you needed to read something, I can't read on the computer because all the other distractions are also there. So
Hmm.
you're like sharing, right? Like that'd be like
Hmm.
saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be faithful to my girl, but I'm gonna leave all of my ex girls as a speed dial number on my home screen." You know what I'm saying? Like you don't, you may not press them, but all the distractions are there. So how is it?
Yeah,
How do
they
you
did.
think? Yeah, like come on, like that's not. Yeah, I can't do that. So I just don't. And then again, the other side of it is like just I mentioned the red pill real quick. I see a lot of
Yeah.
that content and then that blowing up. And don't get me wrong, like I can watch the red pill people. This is not a person on earth that I could take everything they say and just be like, yo, you heard what that person said. Oh my God. I still come from a vetting spirit where you take that information and you see what works for you and then you keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So, but I can't be on the same platform where the next video is this one twerking or elemental P's or like it's a lot, bro. Even comedy, like if
Yeah.
I'm in a serious mode. I'm really getting that education. And then the next video is my favorite YouTuber, D. Craig Smith, and he's just trolling. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that, bro. When I'm on these platforms, and mainly it's just YouTube, while I'm there, I'm already assuming the distraction. I'm assuming that I'm on Fordham Road. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the mall and I don't know who's here. I don't know I don't know who's gonna come around the corner. I don't, I'm at the regular mall. And you just gotta be willing to. So do you do therapy at the mall? No one does therapy at the mall. You can't do that, right? That's you don't try to have no
Work.
serious conversation. I'm gonna just go to the food court and have a conversation at the most popular mall in the neighborhood. That's not where you do that at. So that's just how I feel about that. So the question I was gonna ask you is, it's not totally against where you was going with the whole we ended up with the education and all that. In 2013, your man Drake came out with No New Friends. I got tickets to go on the, I think it was the Barclays Center, and to go on the court and Drake performed this on the court. It was like that one of the high school basketball games, like one of the All-Star games, and Drake performed this I was on the court at the Barclays Center. I remember like being mad hype, and me feeling like whoever's my lineup right now, like this is it. That was dumb, bro. Like that was absolutely like that. I don't even know why it took so many years to realize how dumb that was, to think like that. That I can't meet someone now and that person actually become my friend just because they're
no new friends.
It's stupid. Like I don't even know how I got caught up with that. I was so triggered by the song, and now I'm like so against it. I don't really. I just feel like no new friends equals no new learning. It equals like no new success.
It equals stay stuck where you at.
Yeah. And like what if
it equals the pause button on the control?
Yeah, exactly. Like what about when like you not really vibing with your
pass go and cannot
do
like
not
$200,
right? So and it's weird because I had a couple instances where I got really cool with a person, and not that the song came up, but that moment came up, and I was like, is this person like my friend? Because I had already canceled it out. Like it was, I was never gonna have a new friend.
So you had an epiphany where it said no new friends.
Multiple times.
Drake, you're wrong.
No. I actually no. I canceled them because I was still believing that. Like I was.
No. Drake told me no new friends. You're canceled. Get out of here.
It's not that Drake told me. It's just that I had to believe, and I think the song triggered me to intensify like that. I was right about that, and this is like something that I feel like, man, I don't know. And until this day, if I didn't have that mentality, I feel like I would have met more people that would have helped me get further into the things that I want to do and be around 100%. And yes, have I had professional relationships? Yeah, but they could go further. You know what I'm saying? They could go into like an actual friendship. But I think that they stop at professional, and then here's a professional relationship when you're no longer needed. That's it. That's over. Yeah, I mean, were you triggered by that song, or did you have that belief? Because you be on something, you don't talk to anybody anyway. So like, if you don't talk to anybody, yeah, but does that mean a guy or girl, whoever, I don't know if you think you could be friends with girls. I was kind of wrong about that too. But if a guy moves in down the block and you randomly into the same stuff, and it takes time, whatever, and y'all hang out, whatever, by chance, block party, barbecue, whatever it is that possibly going to be your friend?
Yes. They have potential.
Yeah, you said pause. You
Wait, what you
pause. Yeah, you know I mean, I feel what you're saying. Like I went fishing on Monday, and I went fishing with a guy. He's cool. But I met him. It was my daughter's friend from school. It's their parents, and I didn't want to take my kid. Yeah, I didn't want to take my. Nah, I don't know where you going with that, but I can't do it.
I thought you was about to say you went fishing with your daughter's friend from school, and now you have new friends. I'm about to say, first of all,
here we go. This is not the climate to be making those jokes, bro. That was 20, 30 years ago. You better not make no jokes like that. But yeah, so we've
That's
hung
so.
out with their family, like they've had different things and we show up to birthdays, whatever. And he told me he was into fishing and I want to take my family fishing, but I never been fishing. I don't want to mess up. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I never been
Never been
fishing,
fishing?
bro. Not on a real like okay, so when I say I never been fishing, what I'm saying is if you handed me the ride, I wouldn't know what to do with it. When my kids get excited, now I'm like in this seat where it's like, cause daddy's the strongest, daddy, and I'm not doing this, but this is how they see the world. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. You're
daddy has
Superman.
no, yeah, I'm Superman, so I'm
You wear your
Superman.
underwear on the outside of your superhero
E-
suit.
Look, but I have to be skilled in it. I don't have to be. I ain't the best basketball player in the world, but they get excited. Daddy plays basketball still,
Like the different
right?
right.
They get excited. You know what I'm saying? So fishing, I don't want to go out there and I'm giving them the bad game. You know what I'm saying? I'm come on. This it could get dangerous out there, bro.
It
It could
can.
get dangerous.
It can.
So I went with
So
dude.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How did you fish? Was you on the pier? Was you on the rocks? Was you on the boat?
I did well no boat. I did we was at the Hudson.
Okay.
So he got all excited about it. I don't know if he need a friend or whatever, but this is where the whole no new friends thing come because I'm at that point where it's like he acting mad cool and I'm just like, bro, it's no new friends. Like yo, like I already feel that moment when I was like, you kind of friendly, bro. You gonna have to chill with that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's tone that down.
Yeah, so the dude, but we took both our families or whatever, but he was showing me, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? He showed me the ropes and I was on a little pier or a dock. I mean, I don't even think you want to call it a pier. It was a little dock right by the water. Like I could where we're at, I could just run into the Hudson. Like it's a couple of rocks where we
Nice.
were at. There were steps right down to the water. So I learned the ropes or whatever. I mean, I baited my first worm first time. In
Really?
fact, I mean, you did grow up in a single parent household as well. Where did you get? When was your first time going fishing?
First
Like
time going fishing was Orchard Beach, and
you
I
went
got it on
crabbing.
tape.
You went crabbing. What
No, no,
would you
no.
do?
So what you do is we got there in the morning. It was five. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I got the
Well,
tape to
who?
prove it. We went up there. I had my fishing
Well, who?
pole, and we cast the line for. We put the worms on, depending on what kind of worm. You had to put your anchor on. You cast out your line, and you set it. You set it
Well,
in a good
who?
place.
Who'd you go with?
My father.
See now, see. So that's the problem, right? I remember assuming what your relationship was like with your father, even though he wasn't in the house, he was not far across town, and he was a man. He was there was some fatherly things happening, some responsibilities that he didn't seem to have an issue with. I'm,
No.
I'm not I'm
So
not gonna say I knew he was perfect, but I'm guaranteeing you that I would look at it and be like, that's why Bernard drove before all of us. What you're
yeah,
telling me now, that's why Bernard fished. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't know if he had to knock you back when it came to something you may have done in school, but I could probably assume that happened at some point. So you fit that mold. I had none of that, bro. I had absolutely none of that. So did I fish? No. Did I drive? No. Did I fix myself back in school? No.
Okay. Okay.
so
Just
so
look at it
so
from that
then
perspective.
yeah, and that's interesting because we breaking it down here live, but then you think about what I've done as a man. Did I fix my school myself? Yes. Did I go out and figure out how to break through and drive myself and get a license? Yes.
Yes, you
And
did.
now, did I learn like on my own, like finding someone who could help me? Did I get information about fishing? Yes. So, I, I'm out here by myself, bro.
Mm. You know what? Then look at it like that.
That's how it's always been.
Having a
Always been.
conversation is important. You
Sure
understand that?
is.
And like, I didn't know that. I could have sworn you went fishing
I mean, there's an early childhood memory of going fishing and catching
at
seaweed.
the camp. Did you ever go up to Camp
Nah,
Madison?
of
No,
course,
okay.
but yeah, of course. I was in the third session from age 7 to 13.
That's what I thought.
Never went fishing.
You didn't get the little fishing line that they would give you, and you go fish at the lake.
Nah, I never went fishing. I would swim in the lake.
Wow.
I would swim
No,
in the
no, no,
lake.
no. That's the other lake. That's the other lake
Oh,
that was
you
down the
talking
way with
about?
the fake
Hold
sand on
up.
the beach.
You talking about the thing you call in the lake, which used to be that's where somebody drowned at. That's what you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's gated off.
Yeah, it'd be snakes up in there all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I caught a milk snake. Yeah, I know exactly
Really?
what you're talking about.
Wow. Yeah. So I literally, but no, I never. So about 5 years ago, I'm at the dump and I see a guy throwing out a fishing rod. And I'm like Sanford and Son without Sanford. I'm just Son, right? But don't get me wrong, I get that from my father. Like he's that guy.
Yeah,
He wants to recycle this and that and that, and that's not junk. That's usable. And for better or for worse, I'm still like that with a lot of things because I see a lot of resources that go to waste. And so I just take the
yeah.
fishing rod. So it's been there, and then when my kids saw it, they're like, "Oh," and that's what triggered it. But I just had a fishing rod because somebody was throwing it away at the dump. I picked up another one, so I got two fishing rods. I didn't have the whole reel because it was just like the pole. And
Yeah.
I happened on Saturday when I went to the guy's house. It was like a lemonade stand that his daughter, my daughter's friend, was doing like a lemonade stand, and it happened to
Nice.
be across the street. They were having, you know how they be doing all these yard sales. So the guy was getting rid of reels, and he had a whole box. It was $1 each for 7 reels. I asked the guy, I was like, "Yo, is this good?" I mean, clearly, like 7 reels, even it's $7, right? Like I'm not gonna get burnt. And I remembered that I
Yeah.
had two poles, brought them back, and yeah, so it all worked out. But like as far as it was a good learning experience on Monday. He went through step by step. You know what I'm saying? And I like asking. I think I ask good questions because I really value answers and the information so that I could be competent. Like I really believe that I'm competent in what he was telling me. There's a ways to go because there's levels to everything. But I was excited for it, even to the point where he was telling me like, yeah, go get your license, go to the DEC. Man, I went to the DEC website. I read that thing from front to back. By the time I seen him, I'm telling him vocabulary from their glossary. He don't even know what I'm talking about. He told me to read something. Cause that I'm like, you know what I'm saying? From the book, I got it. But the practical, I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? Cause he broke rule number 1. It said don't eat no fish from the Hudson. And he ate the fish. But yeah, man, it's
Don't do
crazy
that.
how we got to that because it's just assumptions to think that, you know, I think I had you more right than you would have me, because I don't really speak about much about like my side when it comes to male influence, but I had a lot of uncles and all of that that were definitely
Brother.
really good for me. People I really cherish, but there's nothing like having your father. You know what I'm saying? And it's a choice. You know, we're fathers now, and we understand how important that is. I don't see how this situation functions without a father in it. I really don't.
That's true. That's honest truth. It doesn't function well. I'll tell you that. There's certain things that you need it in that moment, you know.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Yeah, man. You got anything else? Anything going on
Oh
health
no,
wise? Got
health
that good
wise,
egg. Yo, we posted a video. You say you made it really. I listened to this thing after like the 25th time, and I realized you say you made an egg sandwich without bread.
yeah.
Can you tell me what the fuck is the sandwich part?
Oh,
That's why I just when I wrote the description and all that like that hit me, and I was like, my parts weren't even funny at this point. You literally said an egg sandwich with no bread. What did you replace it with? How was it a sandwich? It wasn't a sandwich.
I'll answer that in the next podcast.
Nah, bro, come on. You can't give him something. You can't give him
To be
something.
continued. You got to stay
He
tuned.
basically what
But
Bernard is saying. He wants to verify that that's what he said first. he's going he gonna write 3 things on the board and see what sticks. He's embarrassed that he just call if it's an egg in it, he just calls it a sandwich. Cause if he called it healthy, I know he ain't have like a McGriddle where he put 2 pancakes on the outside. maple syrup McGriddle. There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I had fun editing, and it was cool to post. It was cool to get that out today, man. It was, I gotta be a little bit more disciplined about it. But it was cool. I figured you would be surprised because I ain't really say nothing. But
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. When I see it popped up, I'm not okay. So I'm gonna say a lot, but I'm gonna say a little. If you understand what I'm saying. So when I seen it, I was busy. Yeah, look at me. I was busy.
yeah.
So I'm like, and then it popped up on my phone. It's like it came up in Discord. And I was like, wait, what? Egg sandwich. Wait, is this? And me not thinking, I pressed it, and it went right in. And
Uh-oh.
the person was like, "Oh, okay, yes, how you doing?" Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely took a couple of minutes to watch that. Just
Yeah. No, I mean it's like I say, I think we've been making some decent content at worst. And
yeah,
it's helpful to get like I said, I try to focus more on execution. I'm at my best when I'm really executing. And my idea notebooks are filled up, man. It's really time to put something down. That's in every facet of my life because I always like to go back to like the permaculture and what I'm doing. I always
yeah,
have projects in the tank, bro. I'm always like, cause things change, bro. Things change so
quick,
fast. Like
quick, quick, quick.
one of my neighbors, they talking about they got a dog out there, and they saying the dog is 2 years old. I ain't never seen this dog, and I don't know why they holding this story, but I ain't never seen this dog. The dog is bigger than everything in the
They 2 years
neighborhood.
old. They
I
2 years
mean,
old.
it's not that it's not 2 years old. It's kind of like, where were you hiding this dog?
Jeez.
I'm the only one with the fence. I have the ability to go behind my fence to maintain, so that's still my property or whatever. But not with that
Yeah.
dog. My neighbor gonna tell me, "Oh, the dog likes. He just likes, he likes women and children." Like, oh, thanks, thanks. I can't be either one of those. Yeah, and so
If you're a
why?
woman or a child.
Yeah,
That's
right.
funny.
So why I say that is because it's his property. There's nothing I can do. I guess I could look into like the noise because the dog does bark a lot, but he ain't always out there. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the dog. I don't want the dog to see me. So because of that, then I start going brainstorming about, can I plant in a way, and what I was going to do along the fence starts to change because I'm now using that as a factor for my success. Like, I may have to plant things that give me more of a privacy.
Yeah.
Things that maybe have better smells because I'm sure the dog is doing what he do on the other side of the fence. And so yeah, I just need a barrier. I don't necessarily care to fight my neighbor. We'll figure that out. But for me, I could do what I can do. So I'm always thinking, bro, and it's always something to build on. So I ain't letting much stop me. I've been in a pretty good headspace, and I think if nothing else, you're saying it's therapeutic for people to hear what is said or what can be said, but it's therapeutic for me to just talk and just get it out because where we live now, all that action is gone. Going to Twin Donut, that's gone, bro.
Going to Twin Donuts. Wow.
24-hour laundromat, gone. Chicken spot, gone. I'm saying? Like, wherever you would think, like how being on the island, I'm saying? By FT from Towers, gone. I'm just saying, like, that's all gone. So the chance of just chilling and talking, I wonder
on that island too.
I wonder how much, like, we didn't realize that we were being, like, there was therapy going on back then. Just randomly talking to people.
Randomly talking, breaking night on that island.
45 field.
Yeah, we definitely 45 field rooftop. We did a lot.
Yeah, but that's all gone. So you still, I don't know. For me, it's not that it's hard to maintain sanity. It's just that it's sometimes it's a little disappointing. It's a little disappointing, and you feel. I don't know if I feel of the same worth that I did when things was more dense. Guess that's a good way to say it. Life was more dense.
I feel like those are the things that made us us, I guess it depends on how you look at your memories. Because, not for nothing, I cherish those memories. From chilling on the island, going down to the Nike store, me, you, Tree, Jamar, all that. Me and you just late night rooftop chilling, talking, spitting. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I cherish them too, bro. I do.
How you look at it? You know what I'm saying? Like when you really think about it, bro. I did have many friends along the way, but I can honestly say that you are my longest running friend.
Yeah, but you're getting all sympathetic, bro. Does it matter?
What you say?
Does it matter?
Does what matter?
So what? I'm your longest friend. So what? So what?
What you mean? So what?
Like, people still care about you. So like, don't like?
Please, cause
see, because that's the problem is that you.
Listen with that. I know who cares and who don't.
See, but that's the thing. I may not be the person who looks back and has this like pedestal thought, but at the same time, I'm not like miss me with that. I'm not like there's no negative vibes or feeling. It's more like you never know what people are going through. You never know what based on perception. You never know how people fall out and people move on. But as for me, I have a lot of relationships where I don't think it's any better that I talk to people and say nothing versus the people just I feel like, oh, miss me with that. There's no difference in that. What's the value of having people that you can't talk to?
I don't know because I don't have people I talk to, so
It's
it
saying
don't
it's the
matter.
same it's the same thing, but I think in the end it's really about if you care about a person. Right? Like people care
Yeah,
about you.
I don't really feel that way, and I don't care too much about too many people. But the ones I do care about, they know, and they will always
Nah,
know. I put that on Front Street.
nah, I get that. I think that you always carry that kind of like, all right, well then we just not gonna do this care for each other thing. And it's like, bro, people care about you. I can name a bunch of people who care about you. I probably can name more people who care about you than don't care about you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Come on, bro. Come on. Come on. Oh, public school 85, bro.
oh, Public School 85. Listen, I'm gonna find that song. I'm gonna sing it.
I know the song. I told you this. My brain is like I can't forget certain things like that.
You know, word for word.
Your hoes will always be alive. Hold on. Oh, I'm probably gonna have to not put this on the on. We might have to. I think I could put if I sat here, bro. I think I could pull it out. I really think I could.
Bro, I think for one of our podcasts, we should link up and go back to 85 and teach the kids that song, the year
First
2030.
of all, you don't know if they probably still singing it, but to me that's all a facade, bro. It's out in some regards the internet is doing a better job of linking mature beings, and mature beings are less likely to be influenced the same way. You know, I appreciate that. As far as like going back to the club, I seen the inside. So when I say I seen the inside, I worked at the club. Now that's just like a camp counselor. I was a director at the club, and there's things that I've seen that I'm comfortable with not being affiliated, connected, and moving on. I worked at multiple schools in the DOE. The things that I've seen, I'm comfortable and connected with moving on and not looking back. I ain't perfect, but I don't feel like I feel like that whole giving back. I wouldn't be comfortable using the versions of give. I'm guessing that's what you're saying, like going back there, or whatever. First, you have to look at yourself as a success in order to give somebody off, like give somebody back something, right? Like, are you successful?
Yeah,
What makes you successful?
me.
This thing gonna say nothing. So you gonna go, so I'm gonna hire you to go speak to some kids and you use the word. It's based on success, and then the little boy with the squeaky voice. Eh, uh, Mr. Biggs, Mr. Biggs, what makes you successful? And you just gonna go, me? You you back to this not answering questions. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm curious to know how you articulate your success. Like no one could judge your self belief of success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And success is the idea that you put out there to achieve. So my idea to achieve uh, a wife, family, house, kids and a dog, I have met that fulfillment. So
Back
I
to
feel
being influenced by
successful.
that bullshit. All right, so 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 basically, what you talking about is the it's as much of an American dream that was the poison that was pushed down our hallways. That's basically what you talking about. I mean, for real,
Well,
like let's, bro,
why would you
this
call it poison?
because it's going. We're having the same conversation. It goes back to the influence. You
Yeah,
telling me when you was, so let's go back. We go back 85, right? The first time when somebody was saying what you gonna be. Well, what you gonna do when you grow up? Who was your teacher? You want to shout some teachers out? Who was your teacher?
shout out to Miss Houston.
Miss Houston. I remember that name. Never had her, but never had her. Okay, so Miss Houston's like, "Hey, little boy," and she's like, What are you gonna be when you grow up?"
An architect.
Okay, so okay, so you was trying to be not to get political. What's it? You was trying to be AOC's father. Okay, so you was trying to be AOC's
Wait,
father.
wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know that, right? So you say you want to be an architect. So here's my problem, and this is from looking back in hindsight. They ask you what did you want to be. They didn't ask you what you want your life to look like.
Mm,
So
I like how you did that.
so Miss Houston says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" You're attaching yourself to a profession. Explain to me how the kids, the house, the wife, and the dog came about.
Because
It got heavy for a second. Who was it? We could go back. Was it Webster? Was it Gary Coleman? Was it Alf? Who? Oh, maybe it was the sitcoms, right? Like was it Cosby? Think of
Family
like really.
Matters.
Oh, ooh, Family Matters. That's crazy, man. Do you get where I've been going? And I'm not trying. I'm
I
just
get
trying to
where you
give you
go.
my perspective. So it's like, but then where I'm looking at just in general, because I'm always growing. I can't put that on you, but I could tell you if you're learning something right now, or if you've been exposed to something right now. I would think that it has to do with learning that you were influenced by something, but you're still defining success based on what you were influenced by.
Okay.
And maybe we're all influenced. I'm not saying that that's not possible, but what you were influenced by. So then I'll rewrite the sentence. Are you happy that Carl Winslow has made you define the family the way that you have? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't seem like that's where our influence should come from.
No.
Cause that's
Yes,
not
sir.
cause your kid's influence is not gonna come from that.
Hope not.
Hope not.
Hope,
Nah.
hope it comes from their old dad.
You're built you're at a starting point, right?
Yeah.
Your children see you function, you put something together with your wife, and they're impacted in a certain way. In my house, in your house, that was not possible.
No. I see my
So
mother put something together by herself.
exactly.
Shout out
Exactly.
to you, Mom. I love you.
Absolutely. And they did what they had to do, but they didn't have, it wasn't a choice at some point. It was just like, this is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
But then I think as a young man, I'm not sure when that influence starts to kick away. So you could have siblings that you might look up to. Like, I'm heavily influenced by my brother Foundation. Heavily influenced. We're going to have foundation on here to get into it. But like, look, the chewing sticks. You always see me with a chewing stick. Where do you think that came from?
Yeah.
That's 1,000% foundation. What he was on.
Wow.
The
Chewing
oils.
sticks.
The oils. We think that's all foundation. Like
Wow.
that's my heartbeat. Like so yeah, I mean that's just we're gonna be influenced. But I also think that I've done deep dives personally and I still am diving in defining success. So I'll flip the question back to me. I don't define myself as a success. When it comes to giving back, I feel like I'm limited because I don't have that confidence of feeling successful. What am I giving to someone else if not success? If not like the connection of I may have been close to where you're sitting now, and look at where I'm at. I actually don't feel that much further. And I've had this debate, discussion. I've had it with many people. And I think I'm ultra sensitive, very hypersensitive to the fact that so many people have this concept of that they made it or they made it out. And I don't buy into that because my beliefs are if you're still connected to somebody that could call your phone and ask you for money that you probably don't have or money that will hurt you, then you ain't really make it because you're as far as the weakest link.
Okay. Drop those jewels. I hear you.
I'm not trying to drop them. I'm just saying when there's a type of society that we're in, you could be pulled down at any point. It's happened to people we look at as millionaires, and you could imagine a rapper from the hood who's pulling them down. But the truth is that you can't just one day not be connected to those things. You're still connected to something. Like right now,
You always can.
if I had it my way, my father's in a better situation, my mother's in a better situation, that would make me feel successful because I could contribute in a way that really sets people up. People that I love, people around me. But
Yeah.
I'm not a success until I am. And I'll have to keep redefining that. Am I comfortable with the fact that I make good decisions? Sure. Am I comfortable that I'm able to have some influence with my children? Sure. But as my children get older, they already be saying sly shit to me right now.
What?
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
What you
Daddy,
mean?
Daddy, when you going to school? Mommy went to school. Daddy's the only one that don't work.
Wow.
They don't understand. They're kids.
They don't get it.
That's fine, but it's what I mean. It's not for them to get, and it's not for me to be super sensitive about it. But there's truth
No.
to it as time goes on. My contributions aren't. They don't seem real. Then there's truth to it. Then I'm not contributing. I'm not having the impact that I don't have to just speak about with my mouth. But it is what it is. That's just how I look at success, and But take us home, man. Let's give us those words of wisdom.
You already know, man. Another episode in the bag. Many more to come.
Take us home
Just
about this. I don't care about the promo.
say that again.
Give us some words of wisdom, man. Forget the promo.
All right. Here we go. When you wake up in the morning, you look at yourself in the mirror, and I want you to speak a positive affirmation to yourself.
Here we go.
Monday through Friday.
Earl Nightingale. Let's do it.
I will be successful. That's
Do
all.
I have
Folks.
to? Do I have to put the deep voice on when I do it? Can I be like a little squeaky? I'll be
You can do whatever
successful.
voice you need to.
Okay. You got another mantra, another chant for us? I will get better at life. Like what else? What else you got?
Always make sure you set short-term goals for yourself.
Oh my
Keep
God.
yourself striving to be better.
Short term, like smart goals.
Like smart goals.
You know what
And
smart
never
goals are?
never stop moving. Yes. Yes, I do.
What's a
I
smart
deal
goal?
with them right now. Every day.
I'm gonna leave you alone. Okay, SMART is an acronym, bro. It breaks down by the letter. It's like
I know.
I'm doing them every day.
I know. I could show you the whole layout. I got that whole layout.
Specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and time bound.
Yep.
There you go. All right, man. Well, it's been nice. Hopefully, this conversation wasn't too dry. And yeah, let's get her done.
We gotta get some outro music. Get it on the floor. Get it on the floor.
Mr. Biggs, you know how to keep me, Jay. You already know.